Hi.
Talk about being late to the party. Hello, and welcome to the Board Game Basement once again with me, AZ Ghosty, and of course Ghosty's mate, who's Alice, once again, and we're here with Aeons Legacy. Super duper exciting by Action Phase Games. So, two things really magical about this. One being that this is a deck building game. Aeon's End is quite a big game in terms of there's lots of different term variations out there. A lot of people play it. It's also a game on Steam. I think you can play it on all sorts of different things. Primarily a deck building game. And we'd never played a deck building game, had we?
No, this is the first time, wasn't it?
Yeah, first time. It's like being first time for everything. And this was I felt touched for the very first time.
It was magical.
It was magical, yeah, it definitely was. And also this was Alice's first Legacy game.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what made me get this game. I saw it and thought, never really given this a go. I know a lot of people enjoy it and have gone on about it, and I thought the Legacy version might be more up my street. Not that I'm a massive Legacy fan, but I thought the Legacy version might be a little bit more interesting in terms of a story for me. As you're aware, we like our story-based games.
We do, yeah.
So deck building really never came into sort of like the limelight for us. I've done deck building in lots of different games that have sort of had that as an element in the game, but primarily a deck building game I've never done. No, not at all.
I didn't know what to expect. Honestly.
I didn't either. It was exciting. It was rather exciting.
Yeah.
So what is Aeon End Legacy? Well, Aeon's End is a game where you are playing a mage or a wizard or whatever you want to magically call yourself, and you are controlling breaches, which are the sort of magical pathways, if you will, in which you can do your spells. And you've got to open these breaches in order to cast spells, and you cast spells by drafting cards via crystals that you get. And you're building up a deck of cards to get better spells to be able to fight the enemies that you're fighting. And it's as simple as that. You're using these crystals to open the breaches, to buy the spells, to build your deck. Interesting thing about the deck building game is you never ever manipulate your deck in terms of you never shuffle it. You always lay it down in the way that you draw it out, and once your cards are depleted, you just move that deck across, then you start again from the top of that deck. So you never shuffle anything, which is weird, isn't it? Because we're always used to shuffling, so that was like, we don't shuffle. What do you mean we don't shuffle? And as part of the Legacy, you've got to build this game up. So at the end of this game, you end up with a perfectly useful copy of Aeon's End that you can play as freely as you like. But primarily the game starts off and you are building up those rules. It was good for us because we could learn the game.
It's good, definitely good for me.
We could learn the game whilst having that sort of legacy element to it, and building us up to having a full game. And it felt like a proper game from the off, didn't it?
Yeah.
We've gotten through quite a bit of it now. We're on our last two chapters, aren't we? On the last two chapters of this. That's how much we've enjoyed it. We've been racking through it,
haven't we?
But it's always felt like a full game from the start, and then anything that's sort of been added in really did feel like it changed the game enough to make it sort of slightly more interesting, if you will. I don't think anything's been changed to the way we've sort of gone, well, that didn't really do anything. But it's been an exciting time, hasn't it? And learning and adding these rules in, it never was a massive change either, to which you were sort of like the game you were playing is now completely altered. It feels like the same game you're playing with added rules.
Like levelling up, isn't it?
Yeah, like levelling up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's really good. That's a really good way of saying it. Yeah, it is. It feels like you're sort of levelling up the game.
Yeah.
To play it, and it is an interesting system. Is when we're used to playing sort of adventure games or anything, any game where you are continuously going along, you're used to being having benefits. You're used to being able to say, I am now better in this next game. Well, in Aeons, you don't. You start back at square one again. You do.
That was
that's
a bit of a
really
surprise,
odd.
wasn't it?
It's such an odd thing because you think, I've just earned all these cards, spent all these crystals to, and then I've got to put them all back again and start again. So that was an interesting concept to sort of get your head around, thinking that you don't kind of gain something as you go along. You sort of start again, and then you start again, and then you start again. But it never gets tiresome.
No,
does it?
I see it as a way to try a different tactic the next time. You know, try and do it a different way. And that's what we were doing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You could try and, depending on what you're fighting,
Yeah.
depends on how you do it. So I did the first time I was like, you're kidding me. Like, I've just got this amazing deck, I was really chuffed with it. And I was like, it's gone. But yeah.
So how the game works, I mean, a lot of you probably have already played an Aeon's End version, but if you haven't, the mechanics are really simple. You draw your 5 cards, you've got a hand of 5 cards, you've also got a deck of 5 cards. This is just at the beginning of your turn. You then, on your go, can spend those cards on anything you want to do. You can also place those cards in an open breach or focus one of your breaches in order to use another one, sort of a one-time use kind of thing. And once you've exhausted all your cards and used them, you draw back up to your hand, and the next player takes their turn. You've got a deck that's sort of like a turn order deck. So you'll have 2 cards that represent. So we're playing it 2-player. So you've got 2 cards that represent me, 2 cards that represented Alice, and then 2 cards that represented the nemesis that you were fighting. And then that's the turn order thing. The only thing we did is because there was so few of us, well, there's only 2 of us, we used an Aeon's End app that does the shuffling for the deck, and that was quite useful, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, because it was the first 2 we did without it, and it just, I know it only takes a couple of seconds to shuffle, but it was so much easier just clicking a button.
It was just easier clicking a button and just doing it, and you can have that on your phone just in the middle of the table if you like, if you wanted to. That would be. I'd advise doing that. You kept on going last, didn't you? You were upset. I don't know why that was really annoying. It was really annoying. I don't know why I kept shuffling myself in last, but I did. But the app thing, just to shuffle those cards, that helped just to keep that pace up. We're not going to give anything away to do with the Legacy game because obviously big hush secrets, and you've got lots of weird, lovely boxes that you get to open, and all your these are all in the packs anyway. These aren't open, so there's nothing to spoil here. But they all come sealed, and this is sort of what contains all the baddies and bits and bobs for them. Yeah, every time. I think production-wise, the game is fine. I've not played any other Aeon's End. I'm presuming that they're all the same in terms of style. I probably would have liked my art class style. Probably wasn't on par with what it is on these cards. But again, it didn't spoil the game for me or anything. It wasn't that bad that I thought. You know.
What, as in you didn't like the style of it?
Yeah, I thought the people could have been drawn better, and some of the artwork could have been done a little bit better.
Oh, I really liked it.
Like I like my character. I don't know quite what I'm supposed to be because it's sort of drawn a little bit funny.
Peter Pan.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I think you look like.
Which is a bit strange, but it doesn't spoil the game. So production-wise, everything's fine. Really good quality, as to what you'd expect really in a game. I know some people have said they had problems with the stickers and things, but we've not had any problems with that, have we?
What, as in like getting them off?
Yeah, and getting them on.
With any sticker, there is always going to be that layer that sticks to the back of whatever you're on, and then the layer that you have to peel off. Just make sure you're peeling the right one.
Yeah, we didn't have any issues at all.
No.
So, sticker-wise, I think everything stuck on fine.
And that could have, I know it sounds really sick because it's such a small part of it, but that could have really ruined it, couldn't it? You know, if you were having to peel it off and half the sticker stuck to the back and stuff, you'd be really annoyed.
Yeah.
But no, it was all right.
Yeah, we've not had any problems with that. So in terms of the legacy element being added to this game, I don't think it mashed together badly. I think they mashed it together actually really well. I believe that I would have probably got less out of this if I had have played Aeon's End before. I think not playing it and jumping straight into this legacy one is actually a really good idea, especially if you've never played a deck building game before, because it builds you up.
You've not got an expectation, no preconceived ideas about what it's going to be like.
No.
So yeah.
So I think I would definitely recommend playing this if you were someone who thought you wanted to try a deck building game. Absolutely, because we definitely worked for us totally. Yeah. And because we'd not played an Aeon's End either, it was nice to see how that game works, and we kind of got that factor in as well. Whereas if you had have played Aeon's End before, you might have thought this is just Aeon's End with a legacy stuck to it, you know. Which kind of, you know, I can empathise, because when I'd played a lot of Pandemic different versions and then played Pandemic Legacy, and you know, that didn't tickle my pickle as much as everybody else's apparently did. I just felt like I was playing a lot of Pandemic in a different way. So Whereas with this, it was quite exciting all the time because it isn't too full either, which is nice. I think for your money that you're paying, I think it's like, what, this is about 40 quid now, something like that. You could probably pick it up for, and you get 7 chapters to go through. And I think that's a good amount to go through, don't you? Like, we've had a good game without it feeling overstretched and without feeling like you've not got your money's worth. Like we sat down last night and played one, and then we wanted to play one straight afterwards because we'd done so well in that one, and that's really good though, isn't it?
It is, because usually I get too tired past 10.
You want that kind of that let's have another go, and that's really nice because sometimes you forget that and you play a game and then you'll leave it, you'll have a go the next night, but you won't have that like, oh, let's stay and have another go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not very fiddly, I would say. We had a bit of a a hitch where, so your characters have health, and the place that you're trying to defend, which is Gravehold, which is sort of like your city, if you will, is being attacked, and that's normally what all of the monsters are trying to do, attack your city and kill you, and you're trying to defend it. And so Alex was controlling the dials. We've got these nice little dials that sort of, one represents the nemesis that you're fighting, the other represents how much health your city's got, and Alex was taking health off the city, thinking it was the baddie, so we ended up fighting for our lives.
Rookie mistake, but we did it.
But we did it. We actually did it. It made it better. Yeah, I think he just did it for dramatic effect. I think
Rookie
he did.
mistake by me. I felt so bad. I was so mad after that. I was like, I can't believe I've done that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So really easy to play. Like I said, it's difficult to explain everything because obviously we don't want to give anything away, legacy style, and but the story. So I was reading and this was after. I always read reviews after I've played a bit, and then to see if I agree with what they say, or that I kind of think we're still on the similar grounds. And I know a few people said the story involved wasn't really that engaging, but I think it's fine.
I think it's engaging enough. Like,
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know why that is, because unless they just were expecting a bit more, like I said, they've played a lot of Aeon's End and needed that bit extra to kind of to make this different from the others, to add that in. I could understand that, but if you've played Gloomhaven, this story is exactly the same as that in terms of the quality of it. You know, that was poor, and for how gigantic that game was, the effort into the story was minimal. And I'm not going to go on a Gloomhaven tirade because I do actually like Gloomhaven. I'll just like to throw that out there. But story-wise, I can't see how you can say that was good and this isn't, because they're the same. Writing, it gives you enough to know the situation you're in, give you a bit of flavour about what's happening, and present you with the nemesis that you're fighting. And I think that's all it needs to do.
I wonder how many people who have played the game before and then played this one, I wonder if everyone feels the same. Whether it's a case of, like, you know, when you read a book and they bring out a film, and you're like, it's just not the same.
Yeah, maybe.
Whether it's like that.
Maybe. But I don't know if the others have a story kind of within them.
Well,
I don't know. I don't think they do. I think they have a lot of enemies, and then you sort of just play through the enemies, and you can kind of do it as they gradually get more difficult. You know what I mean? I think you can do it like that, but then kind of like what this is doing, but without all of the bits of.
I think this is one of my top 3 games that we've played.
Really?
Yeah.
There we go.
Honestly.
Insane. Would you really think? You really think that?
Yeah.
I mean, I totally agree why you would think that.
Yeah.
I absolutely do, because I really did have a good time.
Yeah. And
playing this.
Yeah.
I actually did.
And it didn't take me long to pick up the rules,
it didn't
which
at
always
all.
bugs me because I can get flustered with the rules.
I honestly thought you would find this more difficult.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Apart from messing up the lives of...
I don't know if that was because I'd not played a predominant deck builder, so I was worried I wouldn't be able to facilitate you as much as, you know, some of the other games you played.
Yeah.
But yeah, you picked it was really easy. Like,
do you know what it was? It's because there's pattern and there's routine in it.
You think
and
so?
I like that.
And don't you think there's patterns in other games though?
Well, maybe I just picked up on this one. But yeah, like, I felt like I got into a rhythm, and like you say, when we got the shuffle thingy, the app, that was so much easier for me because then I didn't have to stop, and we could just click draw and it would do it. So it was just on the flow, and it was just so good.
Yeah.
So good.
So there we go. We're in Alice's top 3. Maybe at the end of the year we can do a top 10 with Alice, and that would be
top 10 with Alice.
Yeah.
You'd have to help me remember the names.
Just the
like,
last 3 games you played, and that's it. That's all we've got. That's all we've got on the list. Yeah, remember that game? No, not really. So we're at the point now where we've got 2 more things to do, which we want to get done tonight, don't we? Or we said that we'd like to get it finished, just so we can be quite proud of ourselves for finishing it. We've not got a lot more stuff to open in terms of adding things to the legacy element of the game. I would say that some parts that we've added have not really done much.
Or we've not used.
Yeah, or we've not used. So there is parts of the game I would say that probably could have done with, being more useful, or perhaps changing what that does without giving anything away. It's difficult, but overall, I think this is really good. I think it's really good.
Could that not just be a tactic thing? Like, some people might use it because they're playing it slightly differently. Do you not think that some things might be useful?
Maybe. Like I said, it's difficult without going into it and explaining it. It's difficult. So, but for me, I did think that it was hard to see when something like that would be useful.
Yeah.
When I already know how I kind of want to go.
Yeah.
So whereas something else would have been more useful to me. But you're right. Maybe that is just the way I'm playing. Maybe that is that. So who knows?
I wonder.
Difficulty-wise, I'd say we've done all right. We've only lost 1, haven't we? We lost 1. And then we've won the rest of them.
That was the second one, wasn't
it? Was difficult.
We were a bit thrown off.
It was difficult. So I'd say that the balance of it is good. We always make it's always a touch and go kind of thing. I think we've only whitewashed 1 enemy where we blasted it, because I think we just played really well, and we kind of picked up on how we needed to defeat that nemesis quite quickly. So, but you can up the difficulty. There are ways of doing it so you can make it more difficult. Normally it is the sort of the effect that the nemesis does is increased and their health is increased. That's predominantly how you make it more difficult. So it's not anything grand that changes, but you can do that, and obviously once you've completed the whole game you have got a working Aeons End that you can play, and you can just carry on.
Should we play it again after we've done, just on a harder level, to see how we do?
You think so? I'm not sure.
I won't want to ruin it though. If we didn't do as well, I won't want to ruin it.
Would you not? No. I wonder. So, from me in the basement, I'm going to give this 2 thumbs up from me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ghosty White for sure. And what about you? 2 thumbs up from Alice.
Definitely.
Full house. Full basement house.
So good.
Could you play this with someone that hasn't played board games before? Yes, we've proved that, definitely, because I would absolutely say play this with someone who hasn't played board games before. If they're used to playing card games in general, even better. It's really simple, really nicely presented. It doesn't require a lot. It tells you what to do as you go along, which is really nice. The sort of play and go element is perfect. So I would absolutely recommend that, and I'm very happy that we've managed to pick up a deck building game, because it's got us interested, and I certainly think that we'll see more now coming on the basement. Yeah. We might be late to a few parties, but I don't care. That's the beauty of it.
Better late than never.
Yeah, exactly. Better late than never. Where's the go there, see if there's I want the back. It's in the corner.
In the corner.
There we go.
This.
Lovely. You can also get this as well. This is an Aeons Legacy reset pack that resets the entire game back to its original setting, with all the bits that you may have messed up, written on, screwed up, threw away, jumped on, you name it, ate. You can replace them all back to normal again and set this game up so you can have a fresh Aeons and Legacy. And yes, we've enjoyed it that much that we are going to give away our copy of Aeons and Legacy with the reset pack for somebody. So please have a go at that competition. We will pop that up on our Instagram and also on our YouTube. Put it on that as well.
Yep.
For anyone that would like this copy along with the reset pack for them to have a go, we would absolutely love someone else to play the game and go through the whole thing. definitely would, and we'd also like to know what they think as well. So we'll post up about the giveaway.
Anyone who's already played it as well, let us know, because it's so interesting to see other people's.
Absolutely, and we've been getting really good feedback. I can't believe how good the YouTube's gone already. Like really well. We're getting a lot of people, a lot of designers as well. They've been commenting on our stuff for their games and thanking us, which is really nice to see. And we're really happy to do stuff like that.
Glad that people are actually watching it.
Yeah, we're not just ourselves just watching it over and over again. But if you are out there and you do want to present your games, whether it be to launch on Kickstarter or you want us to have a go before and see what we think, please send them, or you want a promotion done anyway, get in touch with us. We're always happy. And if you're a bystander like me and you just want to know something about a game and you'd like us to have a go of it and see what we think, please let us know. Let us know what games are out there that we might like as well. We're definitely going to play X-Files.
Oh, yes.
Definitely going to play X-Files. Legendary.
Dress up for that one.
How can we dress up in X-Files?
You can be in a suit. Man. Oh, yeah. You can be in a suit and I'll be Scully.
No, I might get too excited. So from here at the basement, she'll put the competition up.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck, everybody, and thank you again for watching. We'll see you again soon, because I'm sure we're back very soon. We've got lots of new stuff, so we'll see you again. Toodaloo.
Bye. Scully.